Today, um, there are BAM networks, BAM-related networks of different kinds. Most of them are geographical. 45 of them on all continents, and BAM is speaking over 20 languages. And the BAM movement, today there is a movement. And the movement is different from an organization. An organization is something you can control. You have board and a staff and a budget and bylaws, and you hire and you fire and all that kind of thing. But the movement is something bigger. It's not one organization. It's many organizations and initiatives that decide to work together because they share mission and values. Today we can actually see that there is a global movement of BAM-related initiatives.
Business people know how to network. It's one thing they're very good at. I think in the network, it's more changing the conversation. They already network, right? They already, when they go to church, they're networking with other business people. They're maybe not involving the pastor in the conversation because they don't see the linkage of that. But it's helping them to change the conversation in the networks that they already have to how are we being on purpose with God in and through our businesses.
Networks apply on a couple of different levels. So everywhere we work, we are seeking to partner, if the local church is there, with local churches, but with other active partners in that place. So recognizing, we hear a lot right now about entrepreneurship ecosystems. There's a lot of players involved in that. So as followers of Jesus, we feel called to be great partners with those that are also working. Many of those are followers of him, but others are not, and there's still a great common grace opportunity with them. So we're looking to be great partners in the markets where we work.
Network is so important in effective business because sometimes entrepreneurs, especially Christian entrepreneurs, they feel so alone because the church doesn't understand the ministry, So they feel alone. They feel sometimes, I'm not sure if I am part of the Great Commission. So when you have network with another bombers, for example, they can not just understand what it is, but they can share the practical ways to do with it.
There's a coffee as mission network, and it covers the entire supply chain, literally from growing the coffee all the way to selling it as a really good espresso in a coffee shop or selling it in your grocery store. The value chain covers all of the aspects, and there are people doing ministry through all of the aspects of coffee.
We have our own teams, we have our own offices, but we also partner with 12 other organizations around the world in places like Egypt and Mongolia and Brazil. And so what we see in all of this is the Lord is speaking very similar messages to other leaders who have a vision for their nation, who have the business skill to invest in entrepreneurs, to train, to accelerate, to disciple, and who are doing this out of this generational calling to say, we're going to work with people that we think can bring shalom, can bring flourishing, and really change some of the dynamics that we've had in poverty alleviation efforts and even some of the mission approaches that we've taken over time.
In about 9 or 11 countries. And I would never have thought it would have gone there. And I'm just blown away. And it's primarily through one partnership. What we've seen a lot in the Lausanne meetings so far is just talking about unity and collaboration and partnership. And it really is the way forward for us. Because then if I can come and say I'm training with your community, then you've got your network to draw the people in to be on the training. So I'm not trying to find people in your network, but you've got it. And so now we collaborate, we partner. And now suddenly you've got an extra ministry tool to reach the people around you. And so it's in this partnership that there is strength.
There are emerging networks. And so if you look at countries like Ethiopia or Uganda or Myanmar, you see where there are people who have caught the vision. And a lot of times it's because of the message from the Lausanne Issue Network, where they're saying, yes, we want more, we need more, help us, tell us, what can we do? And we're saying, tell us what we can do to serve you, because it's your movement. You're the ones who are doing the ministry by way of business. We know some things. but so do a lot of other people. Maybe we can bring these resources to bear with you and for you, and then these indigenous movements, BAM networks, are rising up.
There are three words that can describe the global BAM movement, and they all start with the prefix poly. And poly means many. So the BAM movement today is polycentric, polyglot, and polydirectional. Polycentric, it doesn't have one HQ, brick and mortar somewhere, anywhere in the world, but it has many centers. There is a BAM Brazil and a BAM Canada. There is a BAM Southern Africa and a BAM Romania and BAM Netherlands and BAM Russia and a BAM Norway and a BAM Korea and a BAM China and a BAM India, and we can go on and on. And so there are many BAM centers around the globe. And polyglot means speaking many languages. So if one Google business as mission, you get a lot of hits, but only in English. And so that never gets you the full picture of what the business as mission movement is. And then, of course, it's also polydirectional. There are a lot of Korean BAMers in China and along the Silk Road. There are a lot of Brazilian BAMers that have been sent out, and they work in Turkey, in India, and Central Asia. There are Norwegian BAMers involved in Africa. It is polydirectional. And so God has done a fascinating and wonderful thing in our generation in giving birth to a global business as mission movement.